Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Game Gymnastics Podcast. This week I'm joined by Jameel Ali, a gymnast from Canada competing for Trinidad and Tobago continentally in the Pan American Championships in 2023 and 2025, and qualified for the upcoming World Championships in Jakarta, Indonesia. We'll talk about his experiences in competitions and after coming back from knee surgery, his thoughts and impressions on the changes to the code of points, and what he hopes to achieve in the sport for Trinidad and Tobago. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Game Gymnastics Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Today we've got an interesting sort of guest, one of the very first guests to actually reach out to me about coming on, which was a first, and I do appreciate it. So today we've got Jameel Ali. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Training's going pretty good, and a very exciting training phase of competition build-up, and I'm very excited to do this podcast with you today.
Very nice. I'm always glad to have an excited guest on. So can you start by introducing yourself and share a bit about your gymnastics journey so far?
Yeah, no, not a problem. So my name is Jameel Ali. I'm representing Trinidad and Tobago internationally. I have competed at the varsity level for the University of Washington in the past. I'm a gymnast out of Toronto, just outside of Toronto, Canada. I have a lot of passion for this sport, and I'm excited to see how far I can take it. I've been to a few gyms and have been around some incredible people, and I want to share that passion that I have with gymnastics with the world.
Nice. So growing up, who were your biggest inspirations in the sport?
So biggest inspirations, probably locally, gymnast out of my local club, Burlington BG's, named Kevin Litwin. He was a Team Canada gymnast at the time and an exceptional gymnast, a very good highbrow rower as well. He won silver at the Pan Am Games in 2015 when they were in Toronto, so it was a huge moment for him and the country. He was a lot older than me at the time, and still is, but it was really cool to see his gymnastics in person. And then another inspiration is someone named William Albert. He was the first Trinidad and Tobago gymnast to ever represent the country at the international stage. And he also happened to be from my home club, so it was a really cool moment for me to see what's possible for the country and what's possible for the sport if you have the will and passion to take it there.
Nice. What were your early years like in gymnastics?
So early years, I started at a club called, like I mentioned, Burlington BG's. It was a really, really good club, actually. It was a national training center for a good amount of years in the early 2000s. I came on a little bit after that. I was still very young at the time, but it was a great club. Unfortunately, the club shut down, the men's program shut down, and caused me to move to another club in Mississauga called Manjax. The owner was Kelly Manjack. He's a very good coach. He's the coach of Kyle Schufelt, Canada's only Olympic champion, which was an incredible time to be around that type of just coaching, that type of environment. And that's kind of the long story short. I've had some really incredible coaches at my time at BG's and at Manjax before that led me to get a degree in the United States, which I did for 3 years, and then I came back to Canada. That's kind of, in a nutshell, the last 10, 15 years, skipping a bunch of steps there. But early stages, Burlington BG's, being around some incredible gyms at the time, Kevin Litwin, Wolfie Gazer, and yeah.
So let's look at the most recent competition you've done, which was the Pan Am Games. How would you describe the overall experience?
That was a incredible experience for the high highs and the low lows. I think it had a little bit of both. The competition, the high highs, it's incredible to go to a different country, compete on a different equipment, meet incredible gymnasts and people from across the globe, but also things just did not go to plan in some ways too. Starting with one of the rings snapping the first day of training, which was crazy. I saw that in person. I'm sure the video's around somewhere. But the ring snapped, so that was kind of an up in the air about how this competition is going to go. All in all, we did end up getting a new ring in for the competition. Also, there was a new equipment brand called Canis being tested at this competition. Canis or Canis, how we pronounce it. And that was also really cool to be the pioneers for this new equipment brand. I believe we were the first international competition to be using it. And it's pretty cool to say that you were the first to do something like that. And then besides that, the competition went pretty good. My first international competition since my knee surgery about a year ago from that point, which is a big moment for me, getting some big skills out there too. And I was really excited to start the Olympic cycle that way and the first international competition after my knee surgery off on a positive note.
Nice. So obviously you mentioned like the ups and downs and everything. How did you adjust and like try and stay level?
I think going in, knowing especially like going into the Pan American region, sometimes things do not go to plan. That's just the reality. So going in, I knew that you got to be prepared to deal with some adversity. You can't be going in expecting a completely smooth sailing competition. You need to be able to kind of work with things on the fly. Also, the chalk that was there, it was almost safer not to use it, especially on the first day. So some of the skills that I wanted to do, I had to kind of shy away from, kind of make adjustments. So, okay, maybe you don't do this, maybe wait till podium training where I have a little bit better equipment. So it's just things like that we don't like. You don't want to get too much in your head. Just take it for what it is, adjust, move on. And I think that mindset was huge in keeping a level head through the competition and also not getting too like stressed out about it, because it is an incredible experience. And I think the more you force yourself to enjoy where you're at and the whole process leading up, the good, the bad, you will have in turn a much better overall experience with what you're doing.
Hey guys, Winston here. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. If you are, please do leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you can. Also, if you want more gymnastic content from me, you can check out my Instagram at wpowell05 or my TikTok at Winston Powell 5. Thank you, and let's get back to the episode. What do you mean about the chalk? I'm very curious about this now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was either just a new brand or something that many gymnasts were used to, but it was very grainy, like almost like baking powder. And it got to a point where I tried even water, like in the chalk, make it a little like more like just different texture, but did not seem to work. I want to shout out the Venezuelan team and the Canadian team. I was able to use some of their chalk for podium training and some competition, so I'm very thankful for that. But it just was not go on to my grips, stick onto the equipment. Maybe a combination of the equipment being new, the chalk being a new brand, the humidity also of the country. I think all these factors just did not work for the chalk. But like I said, it's the reality. You can't expect everything to go perfectly. You just have to take these things and adjust to them on the fly.
So what are you going to do going forward? Are you going to try and like start bringing your own chalk to internationals?
Yeah, I think I will actually. I think I will for the next competition I do. I'll bring a little bag with me to competitions. Yeah, I've done that before, so I think it's not a bad idea to start doing it again.
Yeah, that's what we all do. Well, pretty much everyone in GB, I'm pretty sure, does it. When we go internationally, even if we're doing like national competitions, you still can't trust it sometimes. Like even if you think you'll know what's going on, not always.
No, it's exactly. It's those little nuances that you're not quite used to. And when doing bigger gymnastics, when doing gymnastics that you want to feel completely comfortable in, those little things matter.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess kind of related. You mentioned that you competed triple back for the first time on rings. First off, that's kind of crazy, especially with the chalk situation. I'd be so scared of slipping off, especially doing a triple back. Like I'm scared enough doing rings dismounts like as is. That's huge. What was the process of learning and competing that like?
So that was a big moment for me. That was my big moment. A big moment leading up for the season. I wanted to get this competition I want to get this skill on the competition floor. I think the new code really lends itself to bigger dismounts, as I'm sure you know. And it was a goal of mine to after my knee, when I had my knee surgery, before the knee surgery for the injury, I had to take a kind of little hit on difficulty, especially for these bigger skills, the triples on high bar and rings. I could not risk a low landing. Post-surgery, it was a goal of mine to prove to myself and to the world I can come back to these bigger skills with taking the proper steps and leading up in the right way. So the build-up for this competition, I did it for the first time at Elite Canada, which is kind of like our winter national championships in February. And it went pretty good. It was first time competing it, a little easier routine in terms of strength. Ended up over-rotating it the first time, which was like bittersweet because I was like, okay, got competition. I know I can do it now, but also bitter because it was no rotation. Wanted to get to my feet. I knew I could, especially after I over rotated. Then I knew I could. Like, okay, this is possible. Now it's not an aspect of give it everything you got. It's controlling it. So despite that, getting it on the competition floor, despite not getting it to my feet, was able to do it successfully for the first time about 2 weeks after that at a local competition. And then it's been in my routine ever since. I definitely saw it as a priority to push it and get a good year of experience for the skill under my belt. I did it throughout the rest of the season up until June. I did it at a national championships, like a Canadian national championships, which was successful. I did over rotate it, but it was not. I was able to stay on my feet, which I was very proud of that. And just like I said, continuing to control the power that I have rather than just give it everything. Because I know if I give it everything, then I'm overcooking it. And then Pan Am's was, I knew like, yeah, I wanted to see how this dismount with the routine I'm doing would kind of fare on the international stage. Because with bigger gymnastics comes bigger risk. And I knew that going in, especially with like a skill this first year competing it. Rings routine is also some good strength in it. Podium training went really well. So podium training went very well. It was put 2 to my feet. Routine felt very strong. And it came to the competition day. I'm like, okay, just trust yourself. Trust that you have enough to not like just give it everything and overcook it. Just be in the moment. You know how to do the skill. Open up when you know how to open up and get this to your feet. So I was very nervous because I knew this was my last competition this season. I was nervous because I wanted to hit the routine well as I could have, and I was able to do it. I was able to get to my feet. Actually kicked it out, took a one step forward. But I was very proud of that. So it was a struggle leading up to it with a skill like this, but this has been a dream skill of mine since I first did it, maybe like 10 years ago. So I'm really glad that the code kind of lended itself in the right direction for me to get it on the competition floor. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the cycle continuing to work this skill and maybe get some more strength in the routine as well.
When you mentioned that you did it, but you over-rotated it, had a very similar experience at the British teams, where it was more just the routine in general was like a lot bigger than I was used to, and then doing double at the end. But I over-rotated that, and it was just a bit of a confidence booster because, yes, I didn't get it at the time. It was annoying, but I knew I could get it on my feet like in the next one because it's just about controlling it. It is kind of a universal thing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. Yeah. It's definitely bittersweet.
Yeah, of course. And then the other point was, did you reduce the routine at all, or just like keep the rest of the routine the same in order to have the energy at the end for the triple back, or are you trying to like push everything up in the routine?
So yeah, the first competition I did, yes, I took a lot of strength out. I actually just did uprise Maltese. That was the only strength I did. To prove to myself that I had the juice to do it. And then once I did that, okay, slowly start adding strength back in. So the first competition I actually successfully did it in, was I put a little strength back in, I put a cross back in, and then come nationals, I was able to do Maltese, push to planche, then cross, all before the triple. So yes, that was a great question. Slowly took out a lot of strength, and then slowly built it back up, with triple being the constant.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen so many triple backs today. It's weird because as of recording this, I watched the World's Trial in Lilleshall in the National Centre for Great Britain, and the amount.
Oh, did that just happen?
Literally just the amount of triple backs I saw off rings is crazy. They are scary to watch sometimes.
That is awesome. Yeah. Okay, I'm just thinking, like, because I'm a huge fan of the GB men's gymnastics. I'm picturing Courtney Tulloch, Luke Whitehouse, Harry Epworth.
Harry wasn't there. He's got enough scores this year. Didn't need to do the trial really, or that was the reasoning behind it. CT, yes, you're right. Luke was literally sat with me watching. Again, same sort of thing, but yeah, well, both of them do it, so you are not wrong. Joe Fraser was the best one I saw. He was on it with his dismounts. Oh my! He stuck the triple back off rings, and he stuck his triple pike off bar. Like it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
That's wild. That's insane. Both. Oh, he's been a inspiration for me for a long time. I met him in 2017 Worlds in Montreal. I was able to go down just when I was a lot younger, so it was really cool to meet him and a lot of the GB squad, like James, Niall. Yeah, that was really cool. Daniel Purvis was there too. yeah, that was really cool. So that's good for him. That's awesome. Really glad to hear
that. But yeah, there was a bunch of others. Cameron Lynn, Jack Stanley, obviously Courtney Tolak. A lot of them fell, to be fair, but fair enough. It is a very difficult skill, and I don't know how
wow, that's incredible.
I don't know how you find the landing on that. It's insane. Moving back, you mentioned knee surgery. You had that in 2024. First off, why? What happened, and what was that process like?
I got a partial meniscectomy on partial meniscectomy surgery. It was a partial meniscal tear I got prior in that season. It was not healing by itself, despite physio, despite a lot of care. It was not going to get back to where it was pre-surgery by itself, or pre-operation by itself. So that's why we needed to consult a surgeon and go that route, which that was a big step because I had not gone through that before. Once I got my head around that, okay, let's book the surgery after season. Let's at least get through it as best as I could. I only did rings at the national championships that year, just to kind of conserve the health of it, not push it any further than it has to be. Got surgery maybe a week after, and then it was just road to recovery. I want to get it done as soon as possible. Start the healing process as soon as possible. So at that point, got surgery. I then moved actually to another gym for work, and so I relocated, surgery, new environment, new team. So it was a lot during that summer, but I think it paid off pretty well. Surgery went as well as I could have hoped. Recovery went super fast. I'd say it's 99% of the way there now. It's just a little bit of range of motion at the extreme ranges, but other than that, I'm very happy with how it went. I am able to do gymnastics, at least some of the bigger gymnastics I can do confidently, which is a huge boost just for myself. Now just continuing to perfect it throughout the next couple of years.
Has that process changed your mindset at all around injury, around training, around competition, anything?
It showed that you can come back from a big operation. It showed that you can come back from injury. You just need to take it super slow. Your mind, I just had nationals that week prior, so my mind is still very much in go mode. Let's get right down to summer. Let's start pushing things, but you got to almost tell yourself not to. You got to force yourself to hold yourself back a little bit. It's a smart thing to do. So if you're able to go slow, if you're able to actually take that step of holding yourself back, which is hard sometimes as a gymnast. When you're always on go mode, it's very hard to stop being in go mode. So take it slow and you can come back. You just need to take the proper steps. You might need to lose the battle sometimes, but then to win the war.
Yeah, definitely getting there right now. Yeah. It's
how's your training going? How do you have a little bit of injuries there? Yeah. Oh no way!
It's been a bit tough. But yeah, I mean, I dislocated my ankle in the pit of all things. It was 6 weeks ago now. In the boot for another 3.
Oh, ring strength, man. Yeah, I gotta get strong now.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why you saw the soccer more pleased.
I also saw it as every time that there's a bump in the road when things don't go to plan, rather than just kind of breaking down, okay, this is just an opportunity for me to see things in a different light and adjust accordingly. It kind of tests my resolve as a gymnast too, which is important because if you can't, everyone can be under the spotlights and that's a great feeling. But it's these moments right now, when you're kind of in the depths of it, that you need to really test yourself as a gymnast. What does gymnastics mean to you? And that's sometimes what injuries show you, or roadblocks show you. I think that's a better way to put it. So I really looked at that in that way as well.
Yeah. It's the holding yourself back bit that's tough because it's as a gymnast, you see everyone else improving and you want to be on that level. You want to be improving too, but also taking time to sort of recover feels like it's almost like doubly wasted time because for one thing, you can't do what you want to do. You can't progress right now. But then also when you're out of it, you then have to build back up to the point you were to then start improving. So it's tough. It's tough. And you got to do as much as you can to make that process as smooth as possible while not doing too much. That's often a balancing act and it's quite hard to manage sometimes.
That was the nature of the game. It's tough. It's a hard sport. It can be sometimes. It's very rewarding, but it goes to both ends.
And it's individual to each injury as well. So you can't base it off a previous injury at all. It's tough. So going back again to 2022-2023 season, what were your highlights?
Yeah, that season was just about everything I could ask for in a season. That was a phenomenal season. That was my first year coming back from the collegiate system in America. So I was coming back to my home province of Ontario. I was back at my home club, Manjax, and yeah, that was a great season. I was getting reintegrated with the Ontario gymnasts, the Ontario system, and it was incredible because a lot of the people that I trained with, like back before I went, were so much younger then. And then I come back, and 3 or 4 years have passed, and they've matured into their own gymnasts. They're doing incredible skills. That season, I was able to see some of the up and coming gymnasts in Canada, junior gymnasts in Canada, really excel on that stage, which was very special to me. Like, very proud to be a part of that team. It was, and that season alone was not without struggle either, but I was able to get some skills. Like, that was the first year I competed triple black on high bar as well. I didn't even know the code was going to go this way, but I knew, like, just wanted to do it because it was a goal of mine for some time. I ended up sticking that at nationals, which was really a good memory for my gymnastics season. And then to top it off, the end of that season was my first international competition for Trinidad, also ever. So that was a perfect end to a perfect season. Both my teammate Alel Baker, who's now representing Jamaica, we both had our first international experience at the same time, which that will always be a special moment that both of us got to do together. We've trained together for as long as I can remember. And what also ended up happening is that was also the last season that gym was going to have. We didn't know it at the time, but we got that news early April due to the gym being relocated and becoming a women's artistic gym. So that was tough, but that, I think, really brought us all together in a way that I can't even put into words unless you have had a gym close before. Like, it brought us together in a very special way because we knew that this was going to be the last season we have. So let's give it everything we have.
That's cool.
Let's put it all on the floor. And I think we all got very close because of that season. The coaches, the athletes, the entire community was united in that gym. It was good. I can only say good things about it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Having like those sorts of teammates where like first international experience at the same time must be really cool. I've got a similar sort of experience with Gabriel Langton. Yeah, he's 2 years younger than me, but we both had our first like actual international experience. Like, he technically done an international, but it was weird. It was like an online thing because of COVID. So like, first one where we actually went abroad, we did at the same time. So that was really cool. So I can relate a bit. That was
also
France 2021. Cool.
Oh, that's incredible. And then also that year was my teammate Mateo. I believe he competed at the same competition as you, Junior Worlds in Turkey. So that was really incredible to see that build up, and
that was an amazing experience. Like, Junior Worlds is like my all-time favorite competition that I've ever done. It was so good.
Yeah. I bet that's incredible.
So before that international, he gained citizenship to represent Trinidad and Tobago, obviously. What inspired that choice?
So I knew that I still had a lot of passion for the sport. I knew after the collegiate system, I did not want to be done. It's, I want to say, common for gymnasts in America, after you've got your degree, you stop there. But I knew I didn't want to do that. I knew I had more to offer. So I found ways that I could do that, which would be, at that time, coming back to my home province of Ontario. That was the best choice for me, for sure, especially given that I knew the gym was going to, like, now knowing the gym was going to close, I was really happy I went back at the time that I did. And I've had this thought in my head for a while. We actually started this process during COVID, actually. So, like, during COVID, everything was done. All you could do really was think and just ponder, like, okay, how do you want your next couple of years to go? And I'm like, okay, like, I want some experience. I want to get some international experience. I want to get myself on that stage. And I have also a lot of passion for my heritage of Trinidad and Tobago. It's where my family's from. The majority of my family is from. I've visited every single year for as long as I can remember outside of COVID and school. So we started that process in COVID, and it took us about 2 to 3 years to make it happen. I was supposed to represent Trinidad in 2022, but due to an ankle injury at the time, it was not safe for me to go. So we had to pull out. And I think that's kind of what contributed to me being so proud to represent Trinidad in 2023 is also due to the setback I had in 2022. I want to be a pioneer. I want to take this country, this nation as far as I can go with the sport of gymnastics. And I think that's the biggest reasons that prompted me to go down the Trinidad and Tobago route.
After you gained citizenship to Trinidad and Tobago, you then went on to compete at the Pan Ams in 2023. How was that, and how did it compare to this year's?
So that I was pretty much kid in a candy store. I was wide-eyed. I was kind of soaking it all in. So that's kind of where my head was at. So I want to go out there. I want to compete confidently, and it really I was telling myself, you have to just hit checkpoints to get to this competition. You had nationals so I went from Canadian nationals in 2023. That's the competition I competed throwback, started there, and then from that competition, me and Alal, we went to the airport, booked it to the airport to our flight, got on a flight from BC to Toronto to Bogota to Medellin. So it was like on nonstop, which is really cool. And at that point, we picked up my coach in Toronto. We got there. It was very humid. And I just wanted to focus on doing my job as a gymnast, but also meeting a lot of new people, being confident in my showing for the skills that I can do. So I'd say the first time, I started on floor that first competition, and I went through my floor routine. It was good, so I did not fall. And after I landed my dismount, all I could think was, okay, I've competed internationally now. This is a big step. This is the start. I've jumped off the diving board now. Let's keep it going. Let's see how far I can go. And the rest of the competition went decent, not without mistakes. I think nerves did get to me towards the middle, but then I'm like, okay, let's finish as strong as I can. But that was cool. Getting to gymnastics on different pieces of equipment that I haven't done before. The training gym was outside, like windows were there. That was different. That was an experience. Training at the same gym as Camilo Vera and Angel Barajas as well. That was cool. So there was birds like flying in and out of the gym when we were training. When it rained, you had to put tarps over everything because it's South America, and when it rains hard, but only for like 20 minutes, and then it stops. So you had to put tarps over things. It was a good experience, and I got to experience it with my coach, who was only a few years older than me, and we were both kind of wide-eyed and really excited to experience this whole thing together.
Obviously, you mentioned that you were in the US. What was it like competing as a part of Washington men's gymnastics compared to international competition?
Yeah, Washington men's gymnastics was an incredible time. Like, it was a lot of growth. It was a time for a lot of growth. So it's a collegiate program, but it's outside the NCAA. So it's GymAct. It's a different division of college athletics. And with that, there's a lot less funding. So we have to fundraise a lot of our money ourselves with equipment moves, setting up volleyball arenas, taking it down, setting up gymnastics competitions from all over the Seattle area. But with that, it also comes a lot of growth. Like you have to be very careful with your time to balance recovery, sleep, school, fundraising events. But it also gave me the opportunity to get out of my comfort zone, because I was up until that point, grew up in my hometown with my gym, but this was a huge culture shock with people from all over America. I wasn't the only international gymnast, which I was very thankful for. I had a teammate from Australia at the time, which we bonded pretty well, just due to the fact we were both international. But it was hard. I think I struggled a lot during that freshman year, just getting acclimated to the level of competition, how frequent the competitions are. But also competing as a team, competing towards one goal is something very special that not a lot of other things compare to, really. When you're all kind of going through it together, it is a special moment. And it does make those struggles worth it, but there are struggles in it. Yeah, there are struggles in it. And actually, my freshman year kind of got cut in half with COVID too. So that was a whole another layer of uncertainty at the time. Yeah, beyond like I stayed in the States for about 2 weeks from when we got the initial thing that the season was going to be canceled. But then I came back home, really not knowing what to expect. I was coming home expecting to be back in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah,
And
true.
then, things happened.
Yeah. Weird time. Looking back, it's always like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, it's crazy because it showed like you had to be at three. At least we had 3 months off. Like up until that point, I bet you and myself and many other gymnasts never have had that long out of a
No,
gym.
never.
You kind of had to find unique ways to stay active and stay fit. So when you came back, you weren't starting from like work on what you could work on, but man, it was
weird.
Crazy time.
It was weird. It was kind of like it started off like as a nice little break. Got 2 weeks off, love it. It's fun, and then it turned into like months, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
And by the end, you just like, I just want to go back. Just get me back to some normality, please.
I know. And then you knew it was like the Olympics got postponed. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is
like that was when we were all like, oh crap, this is actually really serious.
But like kind of more on my experience in Seattle, there was a little bit of a COVID blanket over my time there, especially for the first 2 years. Because like I mentioned, my freshman year, so my first year, it got cut in half due to the pandemic. And then I came home and I actually went back to Seattle in September, but there was still a lot of uncertainty on what the season would look like, if we were going to even have a season. We ended up going back into lockdown in November. So that was back to Zoom workouts, which was wild. That wouldn't be my first choice to do. So Zoom workouts at home. Then we slowly started reintegrating the practice, but it was wild because of the restrictions. You couldn't have that many people at the gym at the time. So we had to train at very unique hours of the day. We had online competitions. We couldn't travel as much. So it was an incredible experience, but there was a COVID blanket over my time there. I did get to travel to across America, which I'm very grateful for. Got to meet some incredible people, and that will always be a part of my story. So I'm very, very thankful for the time that I had there, but it was not without some uncertainty and a lot of growth through struggle. But there's strength in the struggle. So I believe I came with this other side a stronger gymnast, and it taught me a lot about what I can do and what the sport can give you.
You mentioned before quite a bit about the code of points. You mentioned a lot about like how you're trying to, how it's actually benefited you because you're already trying to do these big dismounts, drop back on range, drop back on high bar. Many are struggling to balance difficulty and execution because obviously you want to push difficulty as much as possible, less skills now. So you got to fit more into less, but then also keep the execution up at the same time. What's your approach to routine construction?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, it is a balance between difficulty and execution. With 8 skills now, you're almost kind of wanting to pack more into a smaller package, if you know what I mean. There's only 8 skills now. There's less filler skills you can do. So you want to give every single skill, like you want it to be the most you can do. But with that, like for example, a double twist down the side on floor, stuck cold, will get you more than a triple twist down the side with 3 steps in front of it. So it's the best example I can put. I feel like at this point, at this stage, push a few things. Like drill back was one of the things I want to push, but there's much more in the tank. To do it all at once would not be beneficial, not be smart. I think you're putting too much mental load on yourself, even if you can do it in training. To have 2 to 3 bigger skills on each event, that's a big mental toll you're going to bring with you to a competition where there's so many other factors. A competition, like it's not like training. You have to be almost on automatic. And that coupled with a lot of, like I said, like mental load for these different skills, it's too much to manage. So I'd say slowly but surely build it up. I want to, with gymnastics, execution should be the priority. I think that's what makes the sport what it is. There's no getting around that. However, having said that, I think you can find a balance of doing both. It takes some tweaking, it takes some doing, but if you can kind of just find skills that work for you, skills that are consistent to boost your confidence while also training difficulty safely and being smart with it, I think you can find a very well executed routine. This year is a great year to see what the best guys in the world are doing and how they're balancing that execution. Learning from them, I want to see, okay, how close can I be to that? Let's see if that worked for him. Let's see how I can work with, like, see how I can work for me, judging on my physical characteristics. So that's the best way I can put it, is working it very slowly but surely. You can't just put a lot of difficulty at once. It will just not work. But if you can have a very methodical approach to it, there's a chance to find a perfect balance of a well-constructed routine with good execution and difficulty to challenge.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
And it's an exciting code too. Like, I just little side note, but I'm a huge fan of your podcast, man. Like, I just listened to your episode on how the changes, how, like, you don't need one leg balance anymore, and it's very unique. Like, the scale was a change that not a lot of gymnasts kind of got behind, because I think it was very different to what the current climate of the sport is asking. But it's very different now that we can do double twisting prone fall, 1.5 twisting prone fall. So going forward over these next couple years and months, I'm experimenting with, okay, can I do like a double twisting prone fall, like after a double twist on the side? That'd be really unique, and also that's eye catching. Keeps it fun for the audience, keeps it fun for the gymnast too.
Yeah, and also, what was the other one? Full twisting dive roll also seems quite fun. Just to try, not even to compete, just to try. Like, I saw, I think one of the Manchester lads, like one of the really, really young ones, did like full twisting dive roll immediately, full twisting to prone fall. It just looked cool.
That is incredible.
It was just cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that like, looks really cool, but it doesn't give you anything. Like, both of those are Bs. Like, there's no point in doing that unless you only have A's or something. Like, so
I know, and then you don't even have to count them towards your 8 skills, which is wild also too.
Yeah, but it's also like, if they increase the value, it's almost not fair, because they are easier than doing like these big tumbles. So it's like, how do you balance it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's almost like, yeah, you just got to see what the FIG will come out with and adapt accordingly. But this is a very cool addition to what gymnastics is. I think I really like how it's not just a scale, not just this. You can have a choice that suits you.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better. And I know a lot of people are happy with it. Also, well, like,
never in my life did I think I'd be doing a Y scale before my dismount. And I'm not the most flexible gymnast either, so that's what but it's weird how the sport can take you in different directions.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a lot of full twisting prone falls, but to be fair, I wasn't paying that much attention to floor, but I assumed a lot of people would just go for the full twisting stag, because it's just simple, and most people do it in their routine anyway. But it doesn't fit the rest of them. That's my only like question around it.
I know.
Like, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the skills, because all the rest of them are like, you have to actively try to put them in your routine for it to sort of work. But full twisting stag, you can kind of put after any sort of backwards tumble, even forwards tumble.
Exactly.
Like, even forwards landing tumble, you can, like, if you're doing a side tumble next or something, you can just do a full twisting stag into the corner, onto the side of the floor. Sorry, that's what Zion does from my gym. Like,
it
doesn't seem as, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as much like the rest of them.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It kind of it's its own category within these new rules. That's different too. You can also do a cork, I believe, too, like a one leg back full. Nagorny did it a few years ago.
Yes, no, yeah.
Yeah, so that's also wild.
That is kind of crazy.
I want to.
I guess they're just trying to get originality, which is why I'm confused about the full twisting stag, I suppose, because people do it already.
I feel like
it doesn't add that much originality.
I feel like also with this full twisting stag, like, come next year, every single corner transition has to be different too, which is really going to add an artistic side to this sport, which, like, some people have 4 to 6 tumbles. Maybe that's maybe more now with the code, but that's going to really get some people to get really creative with what they're going to do to get in the corner. I think full twisting stag will become more utilized over 2026 just due to this change. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I always knew like that my coach, my current coach now, he told me that there's going to be a change. Like either it's going to happen before Worlds or after Worlds. And yeah, he was right. He's like, it happened last code too, like in 2021 with the double twisting rules for connections.
Yeah.
But double twisting phone fall is something I definitely want to try.
I think it would be interesting. I saw someone do it. Luke James. He actually was on the podcast, to be fair.
He's had an incredible story. South Africa, Britain, US. Yeah, it's
yeah, I saw on his story he was trying
he's a good guy.
It looks good. It looks good.
It does. Imagine like 2.5. So back 2.5, punch layout. A pretty commonplace line. Back 2.5, punch layout, punch double twisting phone ball.
Punch. That would be so hard to control.
I know.
That would be so hard to control. Because like,
I know.
You got to control the rotation like so perfectly with that. Like I tried the full twisting prone fall. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I just go around the side or something. It just does not work for me. So I got to figure out a different way.
Yeah. Same with 1.5. Like I put it in a few sequences now, but I'm way too crooked.
Yeah.
But it's a work in progress. Yeah. We'll see how like this upcoming Worlds. It'll be very exciting to see how this gets utilized. How many people are going to go towards the scale? How many people are going to go towards the phone falls or the twisting phone falls, the full twisting dive rolls? So
yeah. I think if you do it while the full twisting prone fall is like a no-brainer. Because
it's 100%.
Simple, looks nice, gets you into the position that you would be going into anyway. It works. But yeah, I think this change that they made with all the floor stuff is going more towards what they were hoping to go towards with the one leg balance. They just did it wrong.
Yeah,
they just did it wrong before, essentially. Yeah. But like with the having to do different jumps into each corner and the more variety of skills that you can do, I think it's going in the right direction for sure. Bit of a change of topic. But what are your long-term goals competing for Trinidad and Tobago?
So my biggest goal for the sport for Trinidad and Tobago and just in general is I want to take the sport as far as I can take it. I want to look back in my career and tell myself that I've given it my all and I've taken it as far as I can. It's a very exciting prospect over these next 3 years to have a shot in an Olympic Games. So I'm going to give my best foot forward for that. But it comes with a lot of challenge. It's not easy to make an Olympic Games, no matter who you are. So I want to give my best shot there. And in doing so, chase that goal. And in doing so, take the sport as far as I can. I think I've already set it on a good trajectory with some of the showings over the last couple of years. And I'll continue that as far as I can. I have some big goals for myself as a gymnast that I want to put on the international stage, which hopefully we'll see in the next few years. But yeah, that's my biggest goals. I want to take this sport for this nation as far as I can go. And I also want to contribute to building a team for this country. Whether I am a competing member of this team or not, I want to help in any way I can so we can see a Trinidad gymnastics team, which has not happened yet. That's a big goal of mine. I want to help inspire gymnasts from across the country, or across the world that have aspirations and Trinidad and Tobago citizenship to show them what's possible. I feel like perseverance has been a big overlying theme of my career. Taking it farther than many people would have thought I would have taken it, given my physical limitations and I'm very flexible, all that. I think I want to show gymnasts what is possible if you have the passion to take it there. I'd say that's the best answer I can give you.
Nice. I like that. Are you doing the Worlds this year?
Yes, I am. So I recently found out that I qualified from the Pan Am Champs in 2025, which was like, I screenshotted the message I got from my athletic director because that's a big moment. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. So preparation has been well underway now. We're about 6 weeks out. We've been doing routines for a while now. Had a mock meet 2 days ago, which actually went very well, I'd say. So I'm looking forward to these next few weeks of continuing to perfect and going out there and giving my best shot at one of the biggest competitions I'll ever do.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Yeah, just in general, it's really cool. Like going to the World. What are you going to do at World?
Thank you very much.
Because obviously it's individual. What are you going to do at Worlds? Because obviously it's individual, so you can do whatever pieces you want.
Yeah, so all 6. I'll be doing everything. For sure. For the first time, we'll have 2 Trinidad and Tobago gymnasts at an international competition.
Very nice.
So, yeah, a teammate of mine, a now teammate of mine, will be joining me there, which will be really cool. So I'll be doing all 6, aiming for a good showing, some consistent routines, and then a good building block for the rest of the season. Right after that, we kind of jump right into our regional season in my province of Ontario. And then long term, it's a big goal of mine to get out there in Brazil for Pan Ams in 26, and then to compete along some of the GB guys at Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Yeah, it's a huge goal. Like the Olympics is a huge North Star for me to follow. So that's definitely a huge goal of mine. And in pursuit of that goal, take the sport as far as I can. Shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars. Taylor, point on your question before.
Do you find that often doing all 6 makes some of the apparatus harder than they would be if you specialized?
So when I was getting recruited for Washington, I only did 3 pieces. I only did floor, vault, and rings. I didn't even touch the other 3 for a good maybe year or 2. Part of which being like my strengths were those 3 events, floor, vault, rings. I wasn't nearly as good on those other pieces. And with getting recruited, you want to prioritize your strengths. I started picking up events very slowly, like when I was in college, just to see if I can put together a contributing score. And then I got back to competing all 6 in 2023. I actually find that each apparatus complements each other. So I feel like if you can spread yourself out evenly enough, if you do rings every single day, it will be it's detrimental to your shoulders, especially at a high volume. I think you can do it every single day for sure, but it's tough to do a high 5 start rally routine 6 days a week. I do think there's more pieces that require more attention than others, like pommel P-bars, very technical events that should require more attention than other pieces. However, I think all 6 apparatus do have characteristics that will complement every single other apparatus. It can contribute to being a very well-rounded gymnast. But having said that, I know I'm kind of talking with 2 sides of the coin here, but I do think that some pieces require more attention. You should put more effort towards basics, perfecting your technique, because some events are a lot more technical. But I like training all 6 because it does give me a balance. Sometimes if you're not having the best day on high bar, you can have a killer day on floor, and vice versa.
If you're like me, you struggle with rips on your hands, seemingly at the worst possible times, like in a competition prep, for example. I'm proud to partner with Wad & Dunn, who have a solution for us gymnasts to help us train and protect our hands in the process. I especially recommend their rip guards for apparatus using grips or guards, whatever you want to call them, high bar, rings or A-bars, and their 3-step hand care kit to make sure your halluses are strong and rip resistant without making them soft. Use my code POWEL at checkout or my link in the description for 10% off at checkout. Now, back to the episode. 100% agree. But I also find that sometimes when I do when I started getting stronger on rings, I started feeling my pommel circles sort of slip and couldn't get extension and stuff.
No, for sure. Like body characteristics, like when you get stronger, you naturally tend to get bigger. Like I feel like the huge goal of a gymnast is to maximize strength by decreasing size. Yeah, maximizing strength but minimizing size.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a hugely buff gymnast because that'll limit your range of motion, especially behind the back circles pommel, swings on P-bars, squat stuff on high bar. It will limit that naturally, but you also want to be the most strong gymnast you can be while minimizing size. A previous coach of mine drilled it in my head pretty well.
Yeah. In all fairness, I find, except for actual squat dislow, squat half, squat full, I don't find myself being massively stretched out the back. It's fully just technique because you're letting go before you're going into that range because you're sort of turning before you go into the range. But I guess squat dislow and definitely P-bar pommel, I agree with.
Yeah, hence I feel like it's necessary to train at least basics pommel and P-bars pretty much every day because of the demand it takes. How yeah, the technicalities of the event, it's necessary.
And I won't name names, but I did see someone fall on a pirouette after doing a huge routine. So you gotta keep on those. You gotta keep on those.
Yeah.
It was
No,
depressing. It was so sad.
Like, it's also like seeing, like, I'm not gonna name any names, but you might be able to guess. It's a huge routine and then falling on a scale or like messing up a scale. It's yeah, but it's also like I feel like that's with the first year this being implemented, what can you expect? Like you shouldn't expect that, but also you're gonna see that. You do these huge tumbles, and then evolving in the scale. It's new, so
yeah. I mean, when you see hundreds of routines as well, you're gonna see people make silly mistakes. It's gonna happen because
for sure.
routines are never like 100% every single time. You will always go through clean. Like they're never like that. You can always.
Prior to this change, were you Y scale or Arabesque?
Scale.
And you gonna the goals change at full twisting prone?
Probably not. I'll probably go with full twisting stag. I know I like slagged it off a bit, but it's easy. And then if that fails or if they get rid of that, maybe full twisting dive roll because I could do that, or full twisting prone because I'll learn it. It's fine. Like you don't have to get it.
How do you? Yeah, no, for sure. How are you finding the new dismount wheel on floor, like the double flipping dismounts?
It's all right. I mean, just do double pike backwards. It's not an issue really. It took a while to like get used to it, but like it took a while to get used to it, but you just do numbers. It's fine. Just do it over and over and over again, and eventually you get it. It's with most things, to be fair, with the sport. Like, if you do it enough times, eventually you'll click, and like as long as you're not drilling in bad habits, eventually you'll like try different things each time, and eventually it'll click, and eventually you'll just find the right technique for you.
Yeah, because double pike like backwards, that's a skill like not many gymnasts would be doing if it wasn't upgraded to a D. So like that's a skill. Like it's weird how the sport can go. For sure.
Yeah. I know a couple of people that were like, oh, double front will be so much easier. Double front would be so much easier. And when it came down to it, they just had no energy for it. So it's like, it's not because, but with double pike, you don't have to put nearly as much into it. It's just timing. It's just technique.
Yeah. I found the same thing with triple, but back earlier, triple twist is like such a solid dismount. If you have a good block, it's really like not nearly as taxing as what is now a full in for me, full twist and double back. So, but yeah, just numbers.
Yeah, that's just gymnastics, though, isn't it? How did you find like having to do pirouettes after each skill? I guess you haven't been doing P-bars for that long since you started.
I started picking up P-bars like 2021, 2022, and I haven't stopped since. So like, yeah, there's been like 4 years. Like I've had, I've been doing pirouettes. That has not been an issue yet, knock on wood. Because we also do drill a lot of base, like in our program, we do all-in P-bars pretty much every day, whether it's high volume routine stuff or basics. Sometimes both. Pirouettes has not been an issue for me. I have yet to compete a reverse pirouette, and I don't think I will with the construction that I'm doing.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I will.
No, I don't think
avoid that with every fiber of my being. I'm not doing a reverse pirouette in a competition because that.
Yeah, no training. I think it's good. I think it's good to train, just to get very good, like a good vocabulary on P-bars. But you'd be kicking yourself if you fell on a reverse pirouette. If like you have a good routine, Tanaka, Bell, some good skills, but then you're falling on that. So
like I get that sometimes you need to do it because you're at the end of the bars and you need to go closer towards the middle, like before a dismount or something. But I will do everything in my power to move my routine around so I'm not at that point, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah. How many pirouettes do you actually need to do in your routine? Is it many?
Do you need to do? I don't think you need to do any, actually. I don't think you need
to do any. How many do you need to do in your routine? Because of
do I need to do just one? Just one. I don't think I'll max out more than just one. If I do a little bit more volume and like a little bit higher skills in my routine, then maybe more than one, but just one for the time being. How about you?
McCurts. If I had giant McCurts. Potentially I could also add 1 bar Healy, but it's unlikely for the time being, so 3 at the moment.
I guess it'll just become natural. Like I said, like I'm really excited to see how this Worlds will go for P-bars. I think a good way to put it is with the 8 skills and also these new rules, the top of the top and will now like become a little bit less. Like the gap will be closed. I think slightly.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the 8 skills. So we'll see. Like there was like Zhu on P-bars was still substantially
He's still clear. He's still clear.
I know he still will be. I think he'll still win, but I mean, Compton was catching up. He was within like 2 to 4 tenths. But there's also now the front uprise rule has been kind of like squashed. Also, you can't do more than 2.
Yeah, that's still relatively significant.
What's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I'm trying to heal the ankle. That's the biggest thing at the moment. Just trying to get back to full because I've missed out on the international opportunity I got. So yeah, just getting ready for the routines start of next year. Potentially I could do some end of this year, like the Bundesliga, German League competitions. It's a possibility, but I'm not 100% about it. I don't know how many I'd be able to do because it depends how I feel when I get out of the boot. So yeah.
Have you done them before?
No, I've done one singular French league competition, but it was just through the club and I did terrible. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's a really cool opportunity. Definitely something I'd like to explore in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited about it, so it's a bit annoying. And yeah, like they're happy for me to like take out pieces and do less on some competitions, more on others, and all that sort of stuff, depending on where I'm at, which is it's amazing because they're being like really flexible with it, and I'm really happy with that.
Really, because it's tough to find a team like that. It's also good because outside of like majors, it's tough to find that team type of environment. But if you get into college, like the collegiate system, it's really nice to compete as a team where it's a rare opportunity. So like these German leagues, these French leagues, these Italian leagues. I know Compton did a little bit of those in the past. It's really incredible to have that team around you.
Yeah, definitely.
You got a pretty good squad.
Leeds is definitely a bigger squad. But yeah, definitely have a good amount of gymnasts, and it's always nice training with them, especially Fraz.
Do you know Clayton Bell?
Yes, I do know Clayton.
He was on the Jamaican. I think this is his first Jamaican competition. It was at Pan Am, so it's nice. It was really nice to meet him. Yeah,
he trains at Rugby, so not very far from me, but he's trained at Birmingham quite a few times, just here and there. And then I know a couple of other people, like a bunch of people in GB, like just in general, are for Jamaica. Like half of the GB team could probably just go and compete for Jamaica. It's kind of
oh yeah,
like
I guess that was like kind of respect for it starting that.
They could literally have like a full Jamaican team from just the people that are in Great Britain easily.
Wow.
I just think it's quite interesting. The national coach was getting a bit worried about that. They're all saying that they were going to leave, and he was like, "What's going on?"
That was like a respect for it was the first, right? Like a GB gymnast to switch to Jamaica.
Yeah. Now that we've experienced the podcast, I think it's a good enough place to stop. Who should I get on next?
Can I give you 2?
Yeah, of course. The more the merrier.
Yeah, I think 2 people that'd be really interesting to have on would be Alel Baker. So I mentioned him. He's been a teammate of mine for quite some time. Competes for Jamaica now, and we started at the same time. I think he has a really interesting story and very passionate about the sport as well, similar to me. And Jason Rampersad. I think if you can get him on the team, that'd be a pretty cool conversation.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, he's on the Canadian national team. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me on too. I'm a huge fan of your podcast as well. I'm looking forward to continuing to listening and support over the next few years for sure. So I appreciate what you're doing for the sport too. It's really engaging.
I hope you'll catch me in the next one. Peace.